Yuta Okkotsu in JJK is honestly wasted potential. And I say this strictly due to the fact that, yes, he was supposed to actively be the main character of JJK and have Yuji killed off earlier on. But that alone is one reason that he's wasted potential. If he was able to be the main character and we could see a lot of different development and see a lot of different things from him, yes, we've seen the development, yes, we've seen all of that. But if we could see how his story would have gone along if we went the route of him being the main character, that would have actively been insane. One, we've already seen exactly how everything went with the Jujutsu Kaisen movie Zero and him becoming a sorcerer, him fighting Ghetto, and him having to deal with losing Rika and all of that things. But the fact that we don't get to see him almost at all for a majority of the story is really a sad fact. Like, it's just really, really sad. Because he is an interesting character, and I'm going to give him that. He has very interesting characteristics, very interesting qualities, and very, very interesting abilities. But not seeing him and having him just be one of those characters that, yes, we get this little tidbits of him here, tidbits of him there, him going to be showing up later in the, like, eventually when the next season of the anime comes out, and him actively being more of a character now in the manga and things like that, and him, you kind of seeing him a little more is amazing. But the fact that we don't really get to see a lot of him just is really truly a waste. The potential that he has with all of his abilities makes him easily qualified to keep that position that he has as quite literally the second strongest. And in all fairness, he has the potential of beating Gojo, but we just don't know if he could actively ever truly reach that because we don't see everything or anything really from his perspective. We don't know exactly how strong he could truly become if we got JJK to actively show him off so much more. His abilities to be able to use Rika the way that he does, and the fact that he has Rika already is a cheat code. But my guy, we need more of him before I can call him like this giant OP character and everything else along those lines. I've had this opinion about a lot of characters in JJK, and Yuta quite literally is the lightest that I have this opinion on, because at least we see that he has true strength and we see that he has true power. But his wasted potential in the lines of not seeing him and not really seeing how the growth is going on, because yes, we see the growth, but we don't see exactly where everything goes past, especially while we're dealing with all of the things that going on in Yuji's events and he's off doing his own things for a majority of the time, is really a sad fact. And also that we see how strong he is now, but just imagining if he had gone through what Yuji's going through, yes, the events would have gotten and been made quite differently. But I would have loved to see how he dealt with a lot of these things. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say that he would ever eat Sukuna's finger, because we both know that's never happening, and we all know that. But him having to deal with all of these things the way that Yuji does would be quite a sight to see. Him fighting Mahito, him potentially fighting Jogo, him fighting Kenjaku, and him fighting all of these things that Yuji's had to fight. Especially if we switch them switch their places or whatever, and just took Yuji out of the equation, that would be very, very high lights to see. Because one, we see how JJK is doing it, and I have a very high feeling and high notion that they are wasting a lot of their main good characters' potentials. And I'm going to be making a full series off every single character that I think they're wasting potential on, and this is obviously just the lightest one. Yuta has amazing strength, and I'm never going to deny that, and I'm going to keep stating that, because I'm not going to say that he doesn't. But the fact that we don't get to see him as often is a big waste for me. And the sheer fact that, one, he doesn't get to be the point where even Gojo now being gone, we're still, the fact that we don't really get to focus on him being even more essential to the story. Like, yes, he gets a little more essential to the story, but Yuji is still our main character. And we're still seeing things kind of through not his eyes, but his eyes in fairness. But Yuta is just one of those characters that I would love to see more, to really flesh out his character so much more, because the lack of him is the true wasting potential. The lack of seeing him, the lack of seeing him be able to grow more, and him even being able to gain a lot more abilities, if he had seen some of the ones that Yuji has to be dealing with at all of these constant motions in time, would be an extremely interesting event. Because we've seen him use Inumaki's like actual abilities, and I would love to see how he would be able to develop other abilities and other things the way that he's been able to. Because his curse technique is just one of those things that is just so damn cool for no reason. But give me your opinions. I'm not going to completely sit here and say that he's the biggest waste in all of JJK, because I have a specific character for that. But he is still a waste to keep around if you're not going to use him to his fullest potential. And I don't think that they are. But give me your opinions down in the comments below. Put your opinions down and at least tell me what you guys really think about Yuta as a whole. But with all that said and done, I will see you on the next video. I'm going to be posting a lot more consistently, as you guys have already seen from this week alone. So please just do be expecting a lot more content coming out from me and things along those lines. But I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.